Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Madison Charlton from MLC Tech, and now the Internet Archive is probably one of the most important and also most beloved entities out there on the internet, mainly for its use on the preservation of history and also the preservation of digital media. However, its respected status on the internet hasn't deterred the likes of hackers out there who have recently stolen the data of 31 million users, which is one of the biggest data breaches in recent history. And this incident serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges out there in maintaining cybersecurity. So sit back and relax as we dive into the breach and the attack on the Internet Archive. Now, the Internet Archive is a non-profit digital library that preserves the history of the internet and also digital media, but recently has suffered a major data breach affecting 31 million users, and the incident came to light when visitors of the site recently encountered an unauthorized JavaScript pop-up message claiming that a catastrophic data breach had occurred. And this data breach was also corroborated by Troy Hunt, who is the founder of the data breach notification service, that being Have I Been Pwned. And the stolen data includes email addresses, usernames, and password hashes, and other system information. Hunt received the 6.4 gigabyte database containing 31 million unique records from the hacker and plans to add it to Have I Been Pwned, which will allow users to check if their information was compromised. Now, luckily, the passwords themselves weren't stored in plain text and were hashed in some capacity. However, that doesn't make it impossible for hackers to be able to decode their passwords. However, in the age of social engineering and how data is managed by different entities, just by someone knowing your email address, your actual name, where you live, it can be enough for seige hackers to do some pretty devastating things just by social engineering alone. So while it may be possible that if you had a really good password, it may take a while for hackers to decode what the password hash was, the fact that they have other personal information already could be enough to cause damage. And in addition to the data breach, that isn't the only attack that the Internet Archive has been having to face recently, with a series of DDoS attacks, which is disrupting and denying its service. And in response to the attack, the Internet Archive founder and current digital librarian, that being Brewster Cully, sorry if I said your name wrong, said that they are actively hardening their defenses to provide more reliable access to their collections. They also publicly addressed this security incident. He also confirmed that, as well as the DDoS attack, the website defacement that they experienced was via a JavaScript library. Which, for those of you who don't know, in web development, a lot of people who use JavaScript and jQueries, they use external scripting to provide a lot of website functionality. And in this case, sometimes that external script reference can be defaced to then cause damage to other people's websites. And as a countermeasure, the organisation has disabled the compromised JavaScript library and is currently enhancing its security measures. And now, why would someone want to target the Internet Archive, being that I personally think they're probably one of the most important websites, especially from a moral and ethical perspective, with how they preserve and manage data and essentially keep records of the history of the world, the internet, and also the content in media as well. But the hacktivist group, being called Black Meta, has claimed responsibility for the DDoS attack and has threatened further actions against the digital library. However, the perpetrator behind the data breach still remains unknown to this day. And why would they target the Internet Archive? Well, they claim to be doing it on behalf of the horrible conflict that is happening in Palestine at the moment. And now, we're not a political channel. I'm not really well versed to dive into such matters. There are definitely been horrendous atrocities being committed within this conflict. And this hacktivist group are attacking the Internet Archive because they are an American company, not because they are directly involved or assisting the state of Israel in their conflict in any way, shape or form. Just purely for the fact that they are based in the United States and they seem to have a disposition towards the United States. However, the government and actions of the country of the United States are very different from this organisation that operates within the United States. And whilst I understand in this conflict, it is very complex, it's very difficult, and quite frankly, it's horrendous to see what has played out. And however, Targeting the Internet Archive goes directly against the cause you claim to be attacking the Internet Archive over. The Internet Archive is probably one of the only sources that are preserving and archiving and keeping a documented history of what is actually happening. So while the IDF might be trying to scrub records of what is happening on the internet and trying to move records of the atrocities of what is being committed, the Internet Archive is probably one of the only sources that are actually archiving what is happening, archiving the stories of the Palestinian people and actually keeping a record of the bad things that are happening. So by you targeting the Internet Archive, you're actually damaging the cause of Palestine and actually removing the voices of what those people have been suffering. So to target the Internet Archive out of some false moral compass just completely blows my mind. And now the security incident comes at a challenging time for the Internet Archive. With it already facing numerous legal battles, recently the Internet Archive lost an appeal with a copyright lawsuit that was brought against it by book publishers, and now it is confronted by another potential devastating lawsuit from music labels. With as recent of this June, the online library was forced to remove approximately 500,000 titles from its collection, which the Internet Archive described as a devastating loss for readers who rely on the platform to access otherwise hard-to-find books. Now, while legally the Internet Archive was in the wrong for this, with how it is supposed to distribute books via a digital library, it was distributing more books than they physically had hold of. However, from a moral perspective and the reason why they did this, I am fully on the side of the Internet Archive. But the latest breach has heightened concerns around the security of this non-profit organisation that provides probably one of the most valuable online services in my opinion. Many users and cybersecurity experts do share sympathy with the Internet Archive, recognising its importance as a digital repository, and indeed 25% of the web pages posted between 2013 and 2023 have already vanished. And according to a recent study by Pew Research Center, for older content, the trend is even starker. Some 38% of web pages that existed in 2013 are unavailable today, compared to 8% in 2023, which just shows the importance of the Internet Archive to preserve these pages so we actually have a record, as if someone pulls the plug on a website and completely strips all the data of the internet, that's not accessible anymore. We physically can't connect to that data server, that network location, that IP address on the internet. So the importance of the Internet Archive has never been greater today. But as the situation unfolds, the Internet Archive users are advised to change their passwords and remain vigilant for potential phishing attacks or unauthorized access to their accounts. It's such a shame to see the Internet Archive under the attack it is, and for what? As I've said before, they're probably one of the most important and most ethical online services out there at the moment, so it's a real shame to see the current state of things at the moment. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions around this in the comments down below. What do you think of the recent attacks at the Internet Archive, and how do you think this will affect the internet in terms of data preservation as a whole going forward? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, I have been Madison Charlton from MLT Tech. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it in any way, shape or form, make sure to give this video a like and maybe subscribe for more content like this in the future. Thank you once again for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in another one soon. Goodbye for now.